Hey guys, Pete here. This will be my Q&A for Twin Peaks Season 3 Part 4. The questions came from my recap and review, so if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. I'll put a link here at the top. So the first question is, does the weird family photo and Wally Suave indicate that he might be Dick Tremaine's son rather than Andy's? That's clearly a possibility based on what we know from the original run, but I don't think that that's really an important part of the story as it is now. So I'd say, yeah, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely that they're going to go down that road, but you never know. I mentioned in that recap that there's a theory going around that possibly Wally died young and the family's been kind of stuck, especially Lucy, and I think that's equally as likely as that there's a Dick Tremaine side story here. We know that the actor who played Dick Tremaine was not recast, or at least he's not in the cast list, so I kind of doubt they're going in that direction. Next question was about the 4 total FBI agents who disappeared, and it asks, will Chester Desmone, Phillip Jeffries, or Windom Earle resurface in Part 3 or Season 3 here? Well, Windom Earle seems to have been destroyed. Like, at the end of Season 2, his head exploded in flames, and I think that was likely, his soul being destroyed. I don't think he still exists in the Red Room or anywhere else. We know his character wasn't brought back, or the actor who played his character wasn't brought back. David Bowie also passed away, and there's no indication that he filmed any scenes, and I don't think they would replace him. So we do have mention of Jeffries already in the series, but I don't think that we're going to see some other actor step in to take his place, David Bowie's place. And Chester Desmone is just really a complete mystery. If you're not familiar with Firewalk with Me and, what went into making that, the FBI agent, in Deer Meadow was supposed to be just Agent Cooper. But Kyle MacLachlan at the time didn't want to take such a large role in the movie. So the whole Chester Desmone thing was kind of a last-minute addition to the story. Now, he did disappear in a way that would seem like it would make him the most likely to still be out there or part of something that's going on related to the lodges, but at the same time, we haven't read anything about Chris Isaacs reprising his role, so I think that story just sort of ends in a mysterious question mark when he touches the ring. When did Evil Coop go off the radar? Or, in other words, when did he leave town? Well, Bobby Briggs answered that for us when he was talking to Frank Truman and Hawk in the conference room in the last episode. Bobby says that his mother told him that Cooper had come by to visit his father just before he died. And the story there is that his father died at Listening Post Alpha, his station in the mountain, the day after that happened. So basically, we saw Cooper come back with Bob showing up in the mirror, and he basically went straight to see Major Briggs either that day or the next day or whatever. And then Briggs supposedly died in a fire, and Agent Cooper disappeared, and Hawk mentions that no one's seen or heard of him since that exact time. So yeah, basically 25 years ago, Evil Coop went off the radar. Next question was, do we think this was the first time he peed in 25 years? Of course, they're talking about the scene where Dougie Coop has an intense bathroom visit, and I don't know if that's guarantee that he hadn't gone in 25 years, but he definitely hadn't gone since he came back to the real world. Obviously, he doesn't really know how to do anything at this point, and, he wouldn't have likely eaten unless they fed him or gone to the bathroom until someone showed him how to do it. As far as what happened whenever he was on the other side, I hope we learn a lot more about that, but we might never get more info. The whole lodge thing with the red room or the waiting room is really confusing because, sometimes people consider that to be the Black Lodge. Other times people think that it is just the space in between, which is, you got the white and black on the floor. I think there's a good possibility that when we saw him with the giant in the beginning of the first episode, that may have been in the White Lodge, but there's really just no way to know. So do they pee in the lodges? I don't know, but, it's a funny question anyways. Next question was, do you think Shelley, James, Sarah Palmer, and so on, Big Ed, will play a big role in the rest of the season, or will they really just be short cameos like we've seen so far? I actually do think that they will play a big part. Part of that is because it's based off of, the original series, and there are quite a few of them they brought back. But also, there was a little bit of rewriting of canon or history, whatever you want to say, in the secret history of Twin Peaks, and a lot of the characters we know are back had some backstory provided for them. Now, that's not guaranteed because they also provided a backstory for Josie, and Josie is not back, so I really can't say for sure, but I do think that at least some things are going to happen in the town of Twin Peaks, and whenever that gets there, like the story gets there, then, there will be some resemblance of what season 1 and 2 were all about. We've also seen quite a bit of pre stuff before the season came out through social media posts that people made. Mei Chen Amick posted photos of her in the double R attire and things like that. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot more. I mean, we still have 14 hours to go, so it's not time to panic about not seeing, the original kind of look and feel of the city coming back. The next question was, is episode 5 available, or do we have to wait 2 weeks? So yeah, this is kind of outdated, I guess, but I just wanted to clear up what I know about the future of the episode release. They released 4 all at once, 2 on regular showtime, as it was a 2-hour premiere, and then the other 2 were available on the streaming service as a special deal for subscribers. As far as I know, from here on out, we get 1 episode every week on Sunday nights at 9. I looked through the Showtime schedule on the website a couple weeks out, and that's the way it appears to be. I'm not going to claim to have looked at every week from now until the end of the series. I think I may have read something that there's a 2-hour finale, but again, basically we're into a regular TV schedule now. There's no more special events or anything for subscribers as far as I know. That's fine with me. I like to have a week in between episodes to do what I do, and it really kind of builds the anticipation. I'm actually, even though I've binged a lot of shows over the years, I'm really not a fan of how certain series all come out at once. It's fun to have a week to talk about it with your friends and think about what's going to happen, and that's just the way that I see it. There were a lot of comments about, I said I thought maybe Diane was the one who came to mind whenever they said they wanted to have someone else check out Coop, Albert and Cole, that is. There was a lot of comments. The other popular theory that's out there, and was pretty much the first theory that I saw, was that it's actually Sarah Palmer who they want to have see Coop. The idea behind that is that she was able to see Bob, and perhaps, they want to use that ability. She's somewhat psychic, I guess you could say, or she has, some kind of special talent here in that case. As I was reading through, there's other ideas too, that it might be Audrey. I think that's the least likely based on the story and she is, obviously one of the big female leads in the series, and she will be back, but I don't really know how she fits into anything related to Agent Cooper, except for she used to have a crush on him when she was a young girl. Others have said Annie Blackburn, and it's sort of the same thing. We know Heather Graham's not coming back. Of course, they could have changed her character. Laura Dern is rumored to play Diane. She may actually be playing Annie Blackburn, and they might have just cut Heather Graham out. I don't really know about any of that, but it occurred to me when I was reading all these questions today, especially in light of the fact that someone picked out the idea that he says the first very backwards, Evil Coop does in the prison interview. I think from that, on some level, Gordon already knows it's not Cooper. And, so I was thinking, what about if it has become a Blue Rose case at this point, and the person that they want to check out Cooper isn't really for the reason of figuring out if he's possessed or not, but, as a part of the investigation. So I think that actually goes back a little bit towards it being Diane as well, because she's worked in the FBI. She was confided in by Cooper when, he was having strange dreams and things like that. But, it could be anybody. All those people could work in the story if it's presented the right way. So I'm not for anything one way or the other. I just think that the name Diane came to mind at first whenever I watched that scene. Sarah Palmer would be fine for the reasons that people are listing. And of course, if it is Annie or Audrey, I have confidence in the show that they'll do it in a good way. So I don't think it'll be, detrimental to anything else. Alright, so that's about it. I will be putting out my episode 5 recap and review tomorrow as soon as the episode airs. Well, not as soon as, because it takes quite a long time to make but after I watch it. And I hope to see you guys and get more questions in that one, and I'll do a Q&A later in the week. Should be a little bit easier to follow a schedule now that we have one per week. So I'll probably do, recap and review right away, a couple related theory videos or bonus videos, whatever you want to call them, during the week, and the Q&A will come before the weekend so that, we can all get on the same page. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.